Throughout my project, I have carried out various stages of audience feedback, as it would allow me to understand the thoughts and feelings felt by my target audience on certain aspects of the film. For me to be able to carry out audience feedback, I would need to specify who exactly are my target audience within the short film. As my film was within the coming of age genre, I believe the target audience for this production would consist of teenagers and young adults. These groups of societies would normally be targeted by this genre as the genre explores themes which teenagers would face in everyday lives. Also, the protagonists themselves is often around the same age as teenagers who may view the production. Therefore, they feel that they can relate to the product. I believe both genders could be targeted, as well as a range of ethnicities, as these groups would still be able to build a connection with the protagonist. The first time where I had carried out audience research was during the research phase of my advanced portfolio. Within this research into my audience's expectations and desires within a coming-of-age short film, I had asked both qualitative and quantitative questions. These questions were varied for me to widen my knowledge on the audience, allowing my production to be focused on targeting this specific group of people. Some questions I had asked were, would you be more engaged by a male or female protagonist? Typically in a coming-of-age film, what do you expect the protagonist's family structure to be? And in a coming-of-age short film, which of the below techniques do you expect ideas and storylines to be communicated through? These questions were asked on a platform called SurveyMonkey, where I held a questionnaire about coming-of-age and short films in general. These questions were all closed questions, meaning that the only way in which the participants could give a response was by choosing one of the given options to pick from. I had gathered a total of 20 responses by sending my survey to a varied group of people from differentiated age groups, ethnicities and gender. Furthermore, during this research task, to understand the audience's expectations and wants in a short film, I had interviewed numerous people from the target audience to understand their knowledge on the genre. Questions which were asked through the interview were, what is one thing you like and dislike about the coming-of-age genre? Can you name some locations where you would want a coming-of-age film to be set? And what themes would you find most entertaining in a coming-of-age film? For example, gang culture and bullying. These questions collectively allowed me to choose the aspects of my own short film carefully, such as the character types and where the short film should be set throughout. After having my final product completed and published on YouTube, I had sent the link to view the production to many people within my target audience. I chose to do this so I would be able to understand the positives and negatives of the production, as well as what could be done to improve the product. I had received the opinions of these audience members on various social media platforms, as well as interviewed styled clips. The first tweet was made from an 18-year-old female named Simran Saini. She currently attends school and is completing her A-levels this year, therefore she's a perfect example of the targeted audience, fitting into the age bracket, as well as a typical attendee of film festivals such as Raindance and London Short Film Festival. Her tweet focused on the concept of the film, where she says she loved the message of the short film. This allowed me to understand how my target audience would like for shorts within the market to have meaning, as well as the ability to keep them entertained. Therefore, the message of don't judge a book by its cover being incorporated into my short film was successful in keeping the audience engaged and possibly relating to the film. What were your thoughts and opinions on the coming-of-age short film?
I actually found it really interesting, and I felt like I could relate to the character, the main character. I also liked how it was short and straight to the point, and it didn't go off on a tangent. The music was interesting, and it went with what was being said and what was happening, so that was good. I also enjoyed the camera shots because there were smooth transitions between each part, and yeah, I found it really good.
The next person who I had received audience feedback from was a 17-year-old male named John Dover. His opinion was expressed through Facebook, a large social networking site. He expressed how he felt the first scene was a little too dim to be visible and possibly suggested to fix this before the final product would be published. I showed him a first draft of the edited version of the film, as it allowed him to pick up on any adjustments needed to take place which I may have not noticed. From this comment, I learnt the importance of lighting and considered this when editing every clip from that moment onwards. What was your honest opinion on the short film?
Well, I like the short film because it gave me a clear message. So it gave me a clear message, and that's what I look for in short films. And I look for this because to keep up with the current trends in society.
What were your thoughts on the short film that I showed you?
Well, I liked it because it wasn't stereotypical and it wasn't predictable. But the film, when I was watching the film, I couldn't really hear the voiceovers as the music was too loud.
Another audience member named Harsimran, aged 15, had commented on the film by tweeting her opinion. She had commented on how she felt the film was relatable and kept up to current trends within society, such as the themes of bullying. However, she also stated that she felt the film was too long and needed to be cut down. Therefore, from my initial draft, I had significantly cut down the time of the film by almost a minute, reducing the time that she is seen walking to a violin recital.
What I liked about the product is that it is quite recognisable as a coming-of-age product or something that you would associate with the genre, because clearly we can see that from the footage. The protagonist is dealing with the hardships of growing up, such as bullying and stereotypes and everyone picking on her and being against her, etc. I also liked how it was different from like a typical film such as Fish Tank or Bullet Boy, because it kind of then challenged what our usual perceptions are of the genre.
James Foster, a 21-year-old male from Leeds, had expressed his opinion online on Facebook, commenting on how the film made him reminiscent on the days at high school. After reaching out to him personally, he had told me that the use of the song in the end made him feel targeted as a member of the audience, as he would listen to the song often when he was a teenager. He also said he loved the message of the film, allowing me to further confirm the statement that a message behind a short film is important and often what an audience will seek for in a film nowadays. However, he went on to say that the soundtrack's volume would be too loud at times for the voiceover to be heard. In response to his comment, I could reduce the volume of the soundtrack. This is one reason audience feedback is essential, as I am able to adjust any mistakes or faults which may be made and corrected them before the final copy of the short film had been released. Another tweet had been received from Christina, aged 17, where she commented on the silences within the short film. This allowed me to understand that the audience members enjoyed the minimalistic approach to the film, opposed to a heavy-handed approach, where the actions on screen are narrated through a voiceover or dialogue. What did you like about the coming-of-age film?
The coming-of-age film was really good, especially with the soundscape. I really liked that, with sort of how she has a panic attack. I thought that was really unique. And as an aspiring film director, you got to have something that makes you just stand out, and that for me was like a standout point in it, and I really did like that. Alongside with the posters, I thought that was a very unconventional style of it, and it's not normal that you see that, but I really do like that as well. And in addition, I did like the camera work in some aspects. I thought it was really good and just made sort of it did elevate the product as a whole, really, to be honest.
Lastly, Jasdeep from West London and age 19 reached out to Focal Productions, commenting on the short film, saying how he liked the panic attack scene and the suggestive approach to the film, opposed to showing the scenes where the protagonist is bullied at school. He then went on to call the film unique and diverse, which is what I was trying to achieve. This allowed my product to become somewhat memorable and has allowed my film to capture the attention and thoughts of the audience.